What if your American passport wasn't enough to get you in anymore? In 2025, a growing number of countries are closing their doors, some completely banning U.S. citizens, while others make it nearly impossible to enter. And the reasons? From political tension and sanctions to kidnappings and espionage fears. In this video, we'll explore the 10 countries where Americans are not welcome in 2025, with real-time updates and facts you need to know. Watch until the end, because number 1 is completely unexpected and might change how you think about travel forever. Let's uncover the uncomfortable truth behind these no-go zones. Number 10. Venezuela. Venezuela is officially listed as Level 4. Do not travel, per the U.S. State Department's May 12, 2025 advisory, due to risks of kidnapping, arbitrary arrests, torture, civil unrest, and non-functioning health systems. Despite the ban, Americans have still been detained on vague espionage or terrorism charges, sometimes held for months without due process, highlighting the serious threat to U.S. nationals. In a high-stakes diplomatic development on July 18, 2025, Venezuela freed 10 U.S. citizens and permanent residents in exchange for 252 Venezuelans deported to El Salvador under the Trump-era Alien Enemies Act. With no U.S. embassy or consular services in Caracas, travelers have zero official assistance if detained. Number 9. Russia and Belarus. While technically not banned, both Russia and Belarus are no-go zones for Americans in 2025. Following continued hostilities in Ukraine, both countries have become openly hostile toward Western visitors. Americans are subject to surveillance, arbitrary detentions, and visa scrutiny. In Russia, embassies operate with extreme limitations, and traveler safety cannot be guaranteed. Belarus is similar. Checkpoints, interrogations, and border closures are common. Unless you have diplomatic clearance or a critical reason to enter, stay far away. Number 8. Iran. Tensions between the U.S. and Iran have reached new heights in 2025. Following renewed sanctions and cyber attack accusations, Iran has tightened border policies, especially for Americans. Several U.S. citizens have been arrested in recent months under vague espionage charges. There is no U.S. embassy or consular protection in the country, making it nearly impossible to get help. Even dual citizens have been detained at the airport or prevented from leaving. Iran may not have a formal ban, but it might be the most dangerous place for Americans right now. Number 7. Chad. Chad isn't just warning Americans, it has banned them outright. In June 2025, in response to reciprocal sanctions and U.S. policy decisions, Chad announced it would no longer issue visas to U.S. citizens. Tourists, aid workers, business travelers, no one's getting in. Chad's government cited unbalanced diplomatic engagement and accused the U.S. of neglecting regional stability. This tit-for-tat shut the door fast, and American passports are flagged at the border. Even neighboring countries are beginning to mirror the stance. Number 6. Haiti. Once a tropical escape, Haiti is now a humanitarian disaster zone. Gangs control entire cities, kidnappings are common, and even locals don't feel safe. As of July 2025, the U.S. has issued Level 4. Do not travel warnings after American missionaries were kidnapped in Port-au-Prince. Flights are canceled last minute. Embassies only handle life-threatening emergencies, and violence is widespread. Even NGOs are struggling to maintain operations. Haiti has turned into a place where the risk of being American outweighs the reason to visit. Number 5. Sudan and South Sudan. Both Sudans are war zones in 2025. Civil conflict, tribal warfare, and collapsed government institutions make these areas death traps for outsiders. Americans, in particular, are seen as high-value targets, especially those traveling for aid or business. Roads are blocked, airports are militarized, and attacks on foreigners have surged. Diplomatic staff have been reduced to skeleton crews, and evacuations happen monthly. If you're American, don't even think about entering without UN protection. Number 4. North Korea. North Korea remains a locked box for Americans. Since 2017, U.S. passports have been banned from entering without special approval, which almost no one receives. And in 2025, nothing has changed. In fact, things may be worse. Tensions between Pyongyang and Washington continue to simmer, and tourists risk being arrested for trivial offenses. Even stepping off the guided path can result in imprisonment. For now, North Korea isn't just difficult to visit, it's dangerous to even try. Number 3. Libya. Libya's chaos continues in 2025, and Americans are high-risk targets. Militias control vast regions, and foreign nationals, especially Westerners, are frequent victims of abduction. The U.S. Embassy was evacuated years ago, and diplomatic efforts are non-existent today. Even humanitarian workers aren't spared. Recent kidnappings near Tripoli made global headlines. With Level 4, do not travel, in effect, and no legal protection on the ground, Libya is off-limits. Tourism doesn't exist here anymore. It's all danger, no safety net. Number 2. Myanmar, Burma. Myanmar is in full-blown crisis mode. Since the military coup, violence has escalated rapidly, and 2025 saw an uptick in civilian bombings and ethnic conflicts. For Americans, travel is not just discouraged, it's incredibly risky. The regime has arrested journalists, activists, and aid workers, accusing them of inciting rebellion or anti-state activity. There are no U.S. consular services, and airports are often shut down with no warning. Myanmar's tourism once boomed with golden temples. Now it's a battlefield where Americans are not welcome. Number 1. Afghanistan. Afghanistan remains one of the most dangerous places on earth for American citizens. Since May 2025, the Taliban's complete control has shut down almost all diplomatic and travel infrastructure. No tourist visas are issued, U.S. embassies are shut down, and travelers risk being mistaken for spies or NGO agents. Armed groups, extremist factions, and criminal networks operate freely, making kidnappings and attacks commonplace. In recent months, several foreign nationals have been held for ransom or disappeared entirely. The U.S. government has issued a Level 4, do not travel advisory, one of the highest warnings available. And that's your rundown of the 10 countries where Americans are not welcome in 2025. What surprised you the most? Have you ever been denied entry or held up at a border? Drop your story in the comments. I read every one. If you found this helpful, hit that like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. More global insights and travel breakdowns are coming every week. Stay smart, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.